on that one. Oops, that was way too long. So we know it needed we knowed it needed. We knowed it.
Hi, and welcome to RCindustry.
Well, hey, it's Rick here, and today we're going to do something a little different. I need to get back here in the back here in the workshop or the tool storage area or whatever this is, and we need to get in here. Maybe, and we need to get some locks out of here. I've got to make some new locks sets up and rekey them for my son's house. So let me dig through here and see if we can come up with some stuff. All right, show you more. Okay, well, what we got here is a whole bunch of junk. Let's see. I got a couple of lock sets here. We need a deadbolt and a regular handset. I don't know what that's doing in here. That's supposed to be over here in the electric drawer. This can go back in. This goes down here. And we're going to need this pin kit here. So we better set that out. And we got our this set. I actually have a set of keys to this one and to this one that all work. So I think we'll double check that. So what we've got to do is key this one, which used to be this is the old RCindustry lock set. So any of you that's got contractors that still have RCindustry keys out, this is the last lock right here. So I'm getting ready to rekey it, and we'll key it to match these. So, all right, let's get the. This is that other drawer, by the way, and you can see it's just full. I don't remember what's down here. More parts. So there's wigs. Oh yeah, yeah. Fred used to wear that wig, I think. Okay. Anyway, all right. So let's get we got to take that toolbox in there and the pin set, and there's some tools in there, and we'll take these apart and we'll key them all the same. All right. Show you more. All right, John, you're going to have to be quiet on this. Let me see. Gotta get him shut down. All right, let's look over here. Okay, so there's a couple of ways to go at this. I'll get this out of the way. And so I may clip some of this out of here. If you've got a key to the lock, I mean, we're wanting to change it to the key for this lock. These are already keyed. And so if you've got the key, it's easy because you can, when you take this apart, you can take the key. If you've got the key, you can stick the key in there and turn it halfway, pull this pin that's in the bottom of this, and then you can slide this out. Now you're going to lose the little all these little doodads out of there, but you'll keep the spring and the slider lock up inside the cylinder. Okay. Okay, so this one is already keyed. I keyed that one before we turned the camera on because I wanted to make sure I still had all my stuff. So, okay, so if you don't have the key, you can take your pick set and you can stick this down in here and run this across there 3 or 4 times, like so, and unlock it, okay? Because you have to have this unlocked. So, if you don't have that, what you can do is pop the clip off, take the springs and the slider set out, and then dump it all out. Then rebuild. You put the little tool in there and rebuild it. Okay, so many of you might not have a pick set, so I'm pretty proficient at that. So I'm going to show you how to take the lock apart and do it how I just described, which is actually taking this part all apart. So you do need a few tools. So let's take this thing apart. Let's get the screws out of this. If anybody's ever put a lock set in, you know that it takes a little time to get one apart. Not anything hard. I didn't know how to do this when I first started, but I've been doing it for about 40 years now, so haven't done it a lot lately, and to be honest with you, it took me a minute to pick that lock a minute ago. So, all right, so we're going to pull this off of here, and then we're going to come down in here. Now, if you look down in here, and I'm going to try to do this on the camera so you can see, but we got to pull this shaft out of here, okay? And so how we're going to do that is we're going to position this thing in the center, and then there's a little spring, there's a little clip, I don't know if you can see it, right there. We're going to push that down, and then at the same time we're going to take the pliers and pull this up. So kind of watch here. Pull this out of there. There. Okay. Now once you pull that out of there, then you got this little fancy doodad here, because what you've got is down in here, these two little things, you've got to get down in there and push those and pop those out, and that will allow this to come out of the face of the lock. So we're gonna, if you don't have one of these, you can do it with a couple of screwdrivers, but it is not easy, I will tell you that right now. So gotta get that down in there just right. There we go. That popped that right out of there. Okay, so we're going to set that one over there. This one belongs with this one. I like to keep all my lock parts the same. A kwikset, a kwikset, a kwikset, a kwikset. They pretty much are all interchangeable. The keyways for kwikset are fairly interchangeable with like House Design, Dexter. I don't know. There's 2 or 3 brands that have the copyright ran out on kwikset years ago, and so there's several brands that make knockoffs. So, but I wanted to use kwikset, 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 kwikset. All of it's kwikset. So, all right. So we don't have the key. We're pretending we don't have a key for this, which I actually do have a key, but that's okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop this little lid off of here, and we're going to set the springs in our little tray, and the keyway, the slider keys in there are the ones that are all the same size, and then we'll dump the pins out. So I'm going to bring you down in here a little closer so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. All right, show you more. All right, so hopefully you can see this. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this little lip and we're going to pop him off of there. And we don't want to bend this thing, so we just want to pop it loose. It's kind of a spring, you know, like spring steel, so it's not going to bend unless you get real radical with it, and then it will bend. So you don't want to do that. There. Okay, so that piece is loose, so we're going to take that piece off gingerly. We're going to set him to the side here, so we don't want to lose that. Then we're going to take our springs out. We're going to lay those in here. Okay, like so. Now, that top pin, I got my little fancy tweezers here. You will need something like that. In fact, just buy you one of these little kits if you're going to do this very much, because they're fairly cheap. So we're going to dump this out, and the first pin out is going to be the slider pin, which we're going to have to put back in. And they're pretty easy to be able to tell because they're all the same size. So, like this little duker here, and this one, and see how that one's, this lock has really been through it's kind of stuck together, so even if we'd have had the key, it would have been a little stiff. So those are all the top pins, or the slider pin. You can call it whatever you like. Okay. Now there's only 4 pins, so there must still be another one in here somewhere. Unless it didn't have one in it, which is odd. Yeah, must not have had one in it, or else it fell on the floor. There it goes. There it was. There she blows. Alright, so we got our springs, our top pin, or our slider pin, and then we've got our pins, or our keyways, to match up to the cut on the key. Okay, so let's go to the next step. Show you more. Well, it looked like we lost a battery halfway through that, so I don't know where I was at in my rambling. But, quick recap, we got this put back together. Hopefully that's on the film, and or on the video. And we're going to load the pins in this. And we do that simply by putting the key into the keyway. And then these little things go point down. So you can see, if I hold this up to the camera, I don't know if it'll show it, but it has a little point here and a flat spot here. The flat spot runs against the top keyway, which is in here, or the top pin. So, and these go down to roll across the humps on the keys. So I'm just going to play with these ones that are laying here and see if any of them match up. That one doesn't, and you can see it's way down in there too far. It's got to be sticking up to there. So that one, it needs to be a taller one than that. So that's about the tallest one in here out of all these. So none of those pins are going to work. So we're going to have to reach up in here and get a, let's use a J. I've got those lettered, so I know if I'm keying somebody's lock, I can make a little code. Now that one, that's pretty good. Oh, how about down here? That one's pretty good. So that might work right there. So that was a J. So let's try the next one. And we'll use our tall one here, the tallest one we had from the old pins. And that one is too low as well. So let's pull that back out of there. We'll stick him back over here. So it needs to be just a little lower than the J. So the next one, oops, would be this I. So let's try him. And that is still too high. You can see, maybe you can see, that's still too high. It's just a playing game. You're just pinning it so that it'll work. Let's try this one. The next one would be H, be just a little shorter. Yeah. See, now you can see those are down low enough that should slide across. And something I found with these too is I've got a file, and sometimes to make them easier, you file that a little bit, but I think we're in pretty good shape there. So let's continue on. Okay, so that one's too tall, so that one needs a shorter one. Try that one and that one. Oops, that one's way too long. So we know it needed needs a little bit shorter one. So let's try that one, and I'd say that that's going to work. Okay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fill these other two in. I don't need to show you on the camera. And then when I get them all filled in, I'll show you how to put this back together. Alright, show you more. Well, I don't know what keeps going on, but my camera keeps shutting off, so I have no idea where we were at. This video may suck. I'm just telling you. But that's how I put these locks together. Been doing it for years. And this should work just fine. So I'm going to get this one put back together, and which is basically the same thing. We're just going to pop this in here. You got to get it just in there just right. There we go. Snap that in. We're going to pop this back in there, just like so. Pop that in there, and we're going to stick this back on here. And I'm not going to tighten these down all the way. I just want to tighten them down far enough that it doesn't fall around anywhere. So we can try our key in this one. So this one, key moves around just fine. This is the one we just keyed with you guys. And this one's going to be a little stiff on that one because we keyed it to the original. We keyed it, instead of keying it to the original key that came with it, we keyed it to this aftermarket key. And then this one was already keyed this way, so that one's fine. And this is a deadbolt. I didn't show you how to key that one because it was already keyed. And then there's this one. So now we've got our lock sets that we need to get on Eric's house. So anyway, thanks for coming along. Be sure and like and share. I know this was something a little different than what we normally do. There's a lot of this lock stuff, I think, and all the house repairs and stuff on our other YouTube channel, DuBois County Flips. So you can always go check that out. But I thought I would just do something a little different. I'm going to do a live coming up probably. In fact, by the time this video comes out, it may have already happened. And we need to talk about the LTD and what we're going to do with it and things like that. So watch for that in the future. And as always, we're making it just like brand used here. Run, Tallulah, run!
Hi, baby.